Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my WWE Money in the Bank 2012 review for the 15th of July 2012. Please rate thumbs up, and please leave your comments in the description below, and please press the like button in the like button section, and please leave your comments. And overall, what did you think of the Money in the Bank winners, and what do you think of the build up to SummerSlam? Cheers. Okay, we start with the pre-show. We had Hunico Kamicha versus Kofi Kingston and R-Truth. Kofi Kingston and R-Truth defeated Hunico Kamicha with a Trouble in Paradise and a DDT into a 2 count out, and then Kofi Kingston comes out with Trouble in Paradise. So Kofi Kingston and R-Truth picked up the win. Next we had Josh Matthews backstage with Chris Jericho talking about how he's the best in the world, he has the best strategy, how he has the experience in Money in the Bank ladder matches, because he hasn't really been much in Money in the Bank ladder matches, because Christian has the most Money in the Bank ladder matches in ladder matches history. So Chris Jericho talks about that John Cena, Big Show, and Kane and Miz need to watch out, because Chris Jericho knows this is the right time for me to become the new WWE champion and prove that I am the best in the world at everything he does. Next we had him interviewing Daniel Bryan, showing some flashbacks about the wedding proposal of Raw, about the whole Daniel Bryan AJ Singer Punk feud, and he said tonight he will emerge and work with AJ's heart and reunite again and become the new WWE champion. Next we kick off with the first match of the wild card. We had SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match. We had Dolph Ziggler, Damien Sandow, Santino Marella, Christian, Cody Rhodes, Tenzai, Tyson Kidd, and Sin Cara. Overall, this match wasn't really that brilliant, because I didn't like the way WWE turned this out. I didn't like the way it turned out, because overall we did see a few good spots that Tyson Kidd and Christian were working together. Tyson Kidd was jumping in ladder matches. He was like jumping from the top rope, and then Christian going for the kill switch on Dolph Ziggler, and then we saw Damien Sandow trying to climb up the ladder match. So we had so many much spots, but to me, I don't think the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match wasn't that brilliant. I know SmackDown has a good talent, but the problem is that I know SmackDown has very options, but really we had to have some experience, someone like a Wade Barrett in that Money in the Bank ladder match, because I know you've got loads of high flyers like Tyson Kidd, Sin Cara, Christian, stars like that, and I like the way WWE are really pushing Tyson Kidd, because the way they're putting him in, like, he qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder match because he defeated Jack Swagger, and I'm very happy that Tyson Kidd got in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and I'm not happy that Sin Cara did not deserve to be in this ladder match. It should have been Swagger or something like that. So I'm really happy that the way WWE are pushing Tyson Kidd, and like possibly everyone was saying that maybe it's his time to move into the main event on SmackDown to compete against Sheamus for the championship. But obviously that ain't going to happen, because Sheamus will usually squash Tyson Kidd just as a normal squash match if it's like a Ryback match. So overall with this, I'm going to make a quick suggestion. I say Dolph Ziggler did pick up the win, with Christian trying to go for the kill switch when he tried to chuck Santino off the ladder, and then Dolph Ziggler used the zigzag and Dolph Ziggler picked up the win. So overall, I don't know why WWE had to pick Dolph Ziggler. I'm really disappointed with this, because this was a bad booking for Dolph Ziggler, because as they were heading towards Money in the Bank ladder match, they put Dolph Ziggler in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I know everyone's saying that Dolph Ziggler should have won the Money in the Bank ladder match, but really Cody Rhodes deserved that spot. He put more effort compared to Dolph Ziggler. I know Dolph Ziggler is going to be the top SmackDown heel now, and I know one good thing for the WWE are putting Dolph Ziggler into a heel run for SmackDown, so they'll make him the top heel. Because I thought that this year may not happen for Dolph Ziggler. Have Cody Rhodes win, and it could be his year, and have Cody Rhodes and Sheamus feud in the summer, and then Cody Rhodes wins the championship, and then Wade Barrett comes, and then Cody Rhodes turns babyface against Wade Barrett, or Sheamus squashes Cody Rhodes and Sheamus has a feud with Barrett. Where was Ryback in this Money in the Bank ladder match? He deserved to be in that Money in the Bank ladder match. So I don't know why WWE had to put him in squash matches against local jobblers, against Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex. Ryback deserved to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. Have someone new. I don't want to see Dolph Ziggler winning the Money in the Bank ladder match. Because that means we're going to have a Sheamus and Ziggler feud at SummerSlam. What are WWE going to do with Wade Barrett? Is he going to return at Survivor Series? Because he's not injured now. Because there's rumours that Barrett has recovered from injury. And it takes time to get him back fit enough to back in the wrestling ring. So, basically, I thought it would have been better if Dolph Ziggler and Swagger had a feud with Ziggler turning babyface and Jack Swagger dominating in the heel. Or Swagger turns babyface and Dolph Ziggler turns as the heel. I would have really enjoyed that feud. Now, what do we have to do? Make Sheamus Ziggler book for SummerSlam. You're talking about the 25th anniversary of SummerSlam at Los Angeles. This is where Michael Jackson died 3 years ago. So now, you're talking about a main event, Sheamus and Ziggler at SummerSlam. No, I'm not really happy with that. They were meant to book Wade Barrett or Ryback. I'm not happy with this. So overall, this is really bad booking from WWE. So, next we're going to move on to the next match. The World Heavyweight Championship match, Alberto Del Rio versus Sheamus. This was a good World Heavyweight Championship match. It was not the best as it was, but they put a good match onto it. It was worth watching it. The crowd got into it. The fans were cheering for Sheamus. The way they build this package up with Alberto Del Rio and Sheamus, because SmackDown made Alberto Del Rio the top heel, because since he lost the WWE Championship last year to CM Punk, when he had the feud with John Cena and Punk at Survivor Series last year, they've really dropped Alberto Del Rio, because since the end of 2011, they really didn't build Del Rio up. But since Del Rio came back, they really pushed him up into that main event. Because Del Rio was meant to be in the main event at No Way Out, but he had a concussion. And then Del Rio won the #1 contender spot, because he went to Teddy Long's office when Teddy Long was in charge that week on SmackDown and said, right, Teddy Long books him for Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So, I like the way this feud's been built up. I know it's not been that brilliant, but the last couple of weeks on SmackDown, I don't even watch SmackDown anymore, because I only watch Raw and pay-per-views. So, this was a really good match, and I'm glad that WWE made Sheamus win, because the reason why WWE are making Sheamus win in this match is because they're taking over Randy Orton, because Randy Orton's suspended. But Randy Orton is scheduled to make a return in September in a live main event in a triple threat match against Del Rio and Sheamus. I think it's in Tampa or Florida, something like that. I don't know, but you can leave your comments down below about that. So, this was actually, I give it probably 5.5 out of 10. It was a good World Heavyweight Championship match, and I enjoyed it. Next, we had, well, after the match, we had Dolph Ziggler trying to come in and cash your money back. I mean, Sheamus front kicked Dolph Ziggler. So really, that's not how you meant to put an end. If someone's going to come in and cash in Money in the Bank and end up beating them up, you meant to cash in Money in the Bank, WWE, and become the new champion. That's how it works. So do we need to sort that out? Then we had Titus O'Neil and Darren Young versus Primo and Ebico. Titus O'Neil and Darren Young picked up the win. Actually, sorry, Primo and Ebico picked up the win. Next, we had a No Disqualification WWE Championship. This is the feud what we've always been talking about since the beginning. Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk with the AJ special guest referee. The way this feud, okay, let me get into this situation. This storyline has been all over the place since this rivalry started at Over the Limit. With Kane, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, we had the first match at Over the Limit, we had a submission match, and Daniel Bryan really should have won the WWE Championship then. But this whole AJ storyline thing, some people found it interesting, some people didn't, because to me, I didn't really find this interesting with Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. Because it has been a crazy storyline, and The way AJ says crazy chicks and all that stuff, and the way WWE made AJ's character, because when I said a couple of weeks ago in my last vid or something like that, I said about AJ that really WWE need to change her character, because I don't like her the way she is. She needs to get into a Divas spot and face later for the Divas Championship at SummerSlam. So basically, this feud, I'm glad it ended tonight, and the match overall, it was not really a good WWE Championship match. It wasn't the best WWE Championship match. I think No Way Out was the good WWE Championship match. This WWE Championship was boring. I know they kept fighting back and forward, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. There was a few good spots when CM Punk rolled Daniel Bryan out, and then Daniel Bryan with the knees having hit him in the gut, and then CM Punk had more chops in the corner, and then CM Punk using the Enziguri on Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk going for the GTS with AG just watching CM Punk, and then CM Punk and Daniel Bryan tried to go for the submission hold, the label lock, and then CM Punk reversed it into a GTS, and Punk picked up the win. So overall, this WWE Championship match, I give it 5.5 out of 10. I didn't really enjoy this WWE Championship match, and I'm glad, thank goodness for God, WWE. Thank you very much, WWE, for making me happy. This feud is over. We have got no more AJ situation, no more Daniel Bryan. This feud is over, and I wonder what's going to happen tonight on Raw, when I do a Raw review tonight, and talk about what's going to happen on Raw. Because hopefully, this feud has to stop now, and that's it, and it's ended. So overall, CM Punk retained the WWE Championship. Next, we had Ryback defeating Tyler Rex and Kurt Hawkins. Overall, Ryback, I still don't know why WWE have to put him in squash matches. We need Ryback to face superstars, like proper superstars, guys like I think Ryback deserves to be in the main event. I like the way WWE are putting him as a good babyface and squashing him so they can like build Ryback up into that main event, because there's rumours that Ryback's meant to face Barrett for the World Heavyweight Championship. So I would rather have Ryback competing in a proper match, like someone like Lord Tensai or CM Punk, because Ryback was meant to be in the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match, but he wasn't. So WWE still need to work on that. Next, we had a 6-man tag team match. Layla, Caitlyn, Tamira, Snuka defeat Beth Phoenix, Natalya, and Eve Torres. Next, we had the main event. The Money in the Bank contract for the Raw Money in the Bank for the WWE Championship. We had Kane, Chris Jericho, Big Show, John Cena, and The Miz. Miz made his return tonight because he had a movie called Moraine, and he was gone for 2 months making a movie. Okay, we start with the bell rings and they end up on the floor. Expect that John Cena tries to knock out the Big Show in the ring, and then he tumbles out, and the Miz climbs up with the briefcase, and John Cena runs back, and the Big Show comes out and takes John Cena and the Miz out. Then Big Show knocks Jericho off the apron, and then Big Show tosses the ladder, and then Kane goes for the big DDT on the Big Show and catches him, and then the Miz comes out, and then Big Show knocks him out in the air, and then Jericho comes in the ladder, and Big Show knocks him down also. And then Jericho with a cold breaker on the Miz with a DDT, and John Cena and the Big Show end up on the floor, and Cena takes the Big Show out and puts him through the table with the Attitude Adjustment. What a good spot that was. I like the way WWE are bringing the Attitude Era back. And then Big Show gets buried, and then after that Jericho and the Miz go in the ring, and then Jericho applies the Wiles of Jericho, and then the Miz uses the ropes to tap out, and then Chris Jericho with a suplex on the Miz, and then Chris Jericho sets up the ladder and then knocks John Cena up the apron, and Miz climbs up the briefcase. Jericho wipes the Miz from the ladder, and then John Cena knocks Jericho to climb up the ladder, and then Cena stops it, and then Miz stops John Cena from getting the briefcase, and then Kane climbs up the briefcase but can't get it, and then the Miz and Jericho with a double suplex to Kane on the top ladder, and John Cena comes back, takes Jericho on the Miz, and Cena slams the Miz on the ladder and does the same to Jericho. And then Cena powers up with the AA to Chris Jericho and slides him on the back. And then Jericho and the Big Show and the Miz all climbing up. And then Jericho and the Miz fall on the floor. And then Cena using to knock the Big Show off. And then John Cena picks up the win. So overall, that's the main event done. I think this was a good main event. I really enjoyed it. 5 men. And on my predictions, I was right that the Miz was going to come back. And it was a good main event. I really enjoyed it. So overall, this pay-per-view, I didn't really enjoy this pay-per-view, guys, because really they didn't really make bad decisions tonight. They didn't really put the right predictions what everyone predicted. So overall, I didn't like the way John Cena won. And I didn't like the way Dolph Ziggler won, because now we all know, it's very obvious, guys, everyone does know, this doesn't change the fact, because it's going to be Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam. That's a load of garbage. I'm not interested in that, so I don't watch SmackDown anymore. I won't be tuning into SmackDown this Friday either. And then John Cena versus Punk for the WWE Championship rematch from last year. Best in the world versus main eventer. So overall, this pay-per-view was boring. So we saw a few good matches. Some of the weeks we didn't really build much to Money in the Bank ladder match, really, because I don't know why WWE had to make Dolph Ziggler win the Money in the Bank ladder match, because we're going to see a Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler feud. I know it would be very interesting, because where is this going to be with Sheamus there and Dolph Ziggler cashing in Money in the Bank? Maybe Ziggler can cash in Money in the Bank tonight, and then they'll probably announce on SmackDown, Sheamus will probably get a match at SummerSlam. Well, what are WWE going to do with Alberto Del Rio? Is Mysterio going to return and have a match at Del Rio at SummerSlam? Or are they going to announce a triple threat match? And where does Wade Barrett fit into this? Because is Barrett going to return at Survivor Series and face the winner of Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler? And also John Cena winning the Money in the Bank ladder match. We don't really need John Cena in the main event anymore. I know he's not been WWE champion for a year, but he's a 12-time champion, 10-time WWE champion and 2-time World Heavyweight champion. But still, John Cena needs to fight single wrestlers, stars like Ryback and Tenzai, to feud, so the stars can get built up. So really, we should have saw Jericho and The Miz winning the Money in the Bank ladder match. So overall, this pay-per-view, I'll give it 6 out of 10. I didn't really enjoy this pay-per-view, and some of the bookings were not that brilliant, and that's it really. So this is my WWE Money in the Bank 2012 review for the 16th of July, which is today. And please rate thumbs up, and please leave your comments down below in the description below, and please press that like button in the like description below, and please leave your thoughts about the Money in the Bank review, and what do you think of the build up towards the 1000th episode on Raw and SummerSlam in the next 5 weeks. So this is Luke Kuro 239 here. For the next time, people, bye for now.